I'm overplaying Division 2. The game is just getting worse and worse, it seems. And every time I make a build that seems good for the AI, I try player versus player. It don't work out too well because too many people are using the fucking bitch boy shields. And for some reason hitting harder than usual. Before the large update in New York, I used to have a build that was survivable for the raid, well, the practice raid that is, and Dark Zone and all that nonsense. And when they destroyed the game completely by adding New York and level 40 and the BTF gloves, which took me 4 fucking weeks to farm for, they really changed the game for the worst. And every time they update the game, it just keeps getting worse. Yesterday I was just out in the open world doing random things and was going full run, and all of a sudden my character stops. The friggin' scenery's having to pop in for no reason. This is 2020 and a game should not be doing this. This is like LJN friggin' version of a game. If you were born in the 80s, you'd know what LJN is. It's one of the worst video game companies, and still is. So here's a build that I have. Actually, let me show you the map first, because this is baffling to me too. They have all this area where your little cursor can go through. They don't add any more map. They added skyscraper mode, which is fucking broken as hell. And the black tests come every other week or every week. They never do control points. They never do anything but take over the same thing, and it gets so boring. All these things you can farm for are absolute garbage. And anyways, here's the build that I made yesterday, which I called the Carnage. So I pretty much am using this armor set that gives me bleed damage, and I thought, okay, I'm doing good on heroic. I made it halfway through the mission, and then tried to do PvP with it. I mean, it works unless you come across some dumbass with a shield, or somebody who's glitching, or whatever the fuck they're doing. And I've just overall had it with this game. I've played it since it came out. Every patch they make, it's just making the game worse and worse. I keep running into invisible barriers everywhere, and it's just not worth the time or energy to play. I really just don't understand why in 2020 games like this should not suck, basically. And that's all I gotta say. I'm just overall over this game. There's new things coming out like Cyberpunk and Watch Dogs and the new Assassin's Creed. Oh yeah, and that's the other thing. Ubisoft made Assassin's Creed. Technically they made this game. Why can't they make the movement so fluid as you're running and going over cover? Why can't my character just walk off a curb instead of getting stuck on the fucking curb because there's invisible barriers? They keep lying about things. Like, they were supposed to take out the purple gear, the rainbow gear, and they've done absolutely none of it. There was supposed to be a gigantic dark zone, apparently, in New York. They decided to give us skyscraper mode instead, which, honestly, in my opinion, is just not worth the fucking headache anymore. Every single build that you make, prepare for it to get nerfed or just utterly destroyed every time they patch it. And good luck to anybody who wants to fucking play this trash.